you got the slate, right? Here we go. All right. Jason, you're muted. There we go. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
All right. We are live. This is Mo Strummel in Nashville.
This is Jason Winfield in Lamont, PA.
Lamont, PA. This is the Weird Turn Pro. This is our very first episode. We did do a test episode, so that's kind of a lie, but we'll deal with that. So this is our very first episode. We're really happy today because we have a guest, our very first guest, and we're going to bring her in here right now. It's Rosemarie Ratvasky, and there she is. Rose, can you hear us?
Hi guys, I can hear you fine. Hey, good to
Awesome.
see you. Hey,
Good.
Jason.
How you doing, Rose?
Oh, doing great.
Good to see you.
Well, it's nice to see
Tell us
you in
where
your
you
little
are.
boxes.
Yeah.
I am deep in my basement in Juniata County in central PA.
Okay.
So,
How's the
hunkering
weather?
down for the past month. You know, it was a pretty crazy day, lots of wind, but we're doing good now.
A little
Here's
bit of
my
rain
weather
earlier.
talk. Yeah.
So Rose is an an old friend of ours. She is actually a member of the band that we play in together when we are all actually in the same place, which isn't very often, called the Red Dirt Poets. You can find some of our music on Spotify and YouTube if you look around a little bit. But we tend to get together in a little basement bar called the Brewery and hang out and play some tunes for our friends there. And if any of those folks are watching, hi, sorry we're not
Hi
there.
guys.
Hey guys, they're sorry they're not there too right now.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. But hi to everybody there. And we did have, in our music, if you go online and listen on Spotify to a couple of the songs, we did have a drummer. He passed away about a year and a half. This is Jimmy Newby. He was a
Jimmy.
Red Dirt Poet also along with us. So we're missing him. He actually gave us a pretty unique sound, and he was the perfect drummer, and we have never replaced him simply because he was the perfect
Yep.
drummer.
Can't touch it.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons we're here, obviously, is to play some music and hear some of Rose's songs. So why don't we get right into the very first song? What are you going to play for us first, Rose?
Well, I'm going to start. I write what I know. So this song is called "Beer for Dinner." Now, in my head, I'm hearing a tinkling little piano going, like in a lounge, but you probably can't hear that yet. Drink more. Happy hour, but that's not how I feel. But 2 for 1 is a mighty good deal. So I meet my friends down at the bar. But after that, I'm not going too far. I'm having beer for dinner and beer for dessert. Beer for dinner and beer for dessert. And an after dinner beer to drown out the hurt of you leaving me. Make it a Pilsner, a lager, or an IPA. Whatever it takes to wash this pain away. Give me beer for dinner and beer for dessert. Now some of my friends are craft beer connoisseurs. But me, I'm happy with a draft or a bottle of Coors Light. Wine makes me sleepy and gin gets me sick. I love me tequila, but I don't need the kick. So give me beer for dinner and beer for dessert. I know someday I'll get over you, but for now I'm staying right here in this stool till the memories fade. Start to get murky, living on beer and dollar beef jerky. Well, wine makes me sleepy and gin gets me sick. I love my tequila, but I don't need the kick. So give me beer for dinner and beer for dessert. That's beer for dinner and beer for dessert. And an after dinner beer to drown out the hurt of you leaving me. Make it a Pilsner, a lager, or an IPA. Whatever it takes to wash this pain away. Give me beer for dinner and beer for dessert. One more round of beer for dinner and beer for dessert. There you go, guys.
Very nice, Rose.
Oh,
Good job.
Thanks,
Good
guys.
job.
Nothing like a good drinking song to get us started.
There you
So
go.
we'll feel like we're right
it's
back
5
there
o'clock.
at it. It's 5 o'clock.
There you got it.
It's 5 o'clock where I am. You guys are East Coast, so you're a little
underway.
little ahead of me. Yeah, well
Yeah,
underway.
we are. We are.
Yeah, before we went live, Jason, something in a koozie kept coming up in the picture, and I'm not sure what it was, but there you go. So, is it a Blue Stripe?
It is a Blue Stripe.
All right, a new beer, right? We
look
should
at
get
that.
these guys
Yeah.
to sponsor us for sure. Okay, is that brewery's in Belfont?
It's in Belfont. Just came out.
Okay.
They've got a brand new Axeman brewery. They also have a new beer coming out this week that is a Vienna lager style. So
Oh, nice.
we'll see
One
what
of
it
my
is.
favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no idea what he just said, but sounds good. Yeah.
It'll have a little red tinge to it. It'll be pretty.
Okay.
I do want to point out that we lost John Prine this week, and I know that for all three of us, I mean, you know, the guy had a song for everybody and a voice for everybody, and it's a pretty hard one to take. You know, I've been playing John Prine songs since I was probably 14 years old or 16, and I mean, it's just pretty sad. So.
I'm
Yeah.
from Illinois. I'm from Illinois, remember?
Yeah, exactly. So,
Lot of-
so we want to
lot-
send the best out to his family and make
Yes.
sure that they're doing all right.
Thinking of you.
I also wanted to talk a little bit about, you know, Jason called me texted me the other night and said, "Are you watching this show?" And it was the ACM show that was on. I don't know if you watched that, Rose, at all, but it was a lot of
No, I didn't do that. No.
yeah, it was pretty cool. It was a lot of individual artists doing stuff just like we're doing here, right from
Oh,
their
cool.
porches or their
Oh, how neat.
rooms.
Some cool
It's back
stuff
to
with
the music, right?
Yeah. the basic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Rose, the Beer for Dinner song, obviously, the source of that is pretty clear, right? But what about process?
Yes.
Like, how do you start a song? How do you think about starting a song?
Well, I'm a new songwriter, Mo. You know, I'm an old person, but I've been playing a long time. But I only just started getting into writing the songs a few years ago. So mostly my background is as a disc jockey, so I would look for new songs and steal their songs to play. And finally I reached an age where the songs I was hearing weren't reflecting what I wanted to say. I said, well, you know, buck up and write your own. So my process, I have an hour commute into work. So sometimes I'll just I'll hum a song and just work on it that way. You know, no guitar because I'm driving, but I'll just sort of, yes, it's true. And just sort of sing it to myself till I get a start, something going. And after that, it's just a matter of sitting down with the guitar and finishing it out, finding whatever chords I was singing. And yeah, just, I'm not a writer. As a person, I don't wear my heart on my sleeve. I hear these wonderful writers like John Prine He can write things like Sam Stone that can just devastate you. I'm more reserved, so it's a little harder, to come up with something.
Yep.
I'm okay with funny, but I'm still working on the songs that I like to listen to. I haven't gotten to the point where I've written that yet. So, but give me
Okay.
time.
That's fair. That's fair enough. Sure.
I have to throw this in there real quick. You're saying you write songs. I used to work I lived in Florida for a long period of time, and one of the guys that I worked with was a trumpet player. He had been a jazz trumpet player. We listened to Chet Baker every afternoon while we were working, and
Mm-hmm.
he had a 45-minute to an hour commute every morning, and at one point he was going through a breakup and he was trying to deal with what he wanted to do and he was rediscovering himself, and so he cut a bunch of boards because we were carpenters. So he cut a bunch of boards the same size, like they were 12 by 9. And they were just big enough to wedge into his steering wheel. So when he was stuck in traffic, he could play his trumpet in traffic on I-95. By the way, his name was Mo, too.
Well,
I see people do a lot of weird stuff, but not that. So
yeah. I find I can write on a plane sometimes without my guitar, but the car, I'm probably so scatterbrained. If I got too into thinking about the song, I'd probably put it into a tree or something. But I mean, now you could go get a Tesla if you had the money, right? And you could write a song on the way to work with your guitar every day.
Yeah,
because lots of songwriters have Tesla money.
Yeah.
Tesla. That Tesla money's hard to come by with that 0.0004 cent per stream thing going on, right? So
now for me, it's that huge cup of coffee. That first time in the morning, they have not yet crushed my soul at work, so I can on my drive in is a creative time.
That's awesome.
It's a joke, guys at work.
Well, it works for you, right? I mean, if it works, it works. So we're going to have you play another song, and I think I have Who's Going to Sing Rosalita on the list here. So before you start, though, tell us a little bit about this one.
Well, this song was written for a friend. It's kind of, when I talk about emotions, a friend passed away very quickly from pancreatic cancer. And she was a good friend, a great singer, wonderful guitar collector, although I never got to hear her play her guitars. She always would sing along in the background, sing those harmonies, and I miss her terribly, Laura. So and this is a song she would sing along, Rosalita, and I do. So, and I wrote it for her. So there you go. It's called Who's Gonna Sing Rosalita? I'm not sure about the capo. We'll go with what we got. Some women are gingham, calico, and lace. Some are worn leather, hard lines on their face. But Laura, she is flannel sheets, soft to the touch. A warming embrace when the world is too much. Laura's red hair is a halo of fire. Her biting sharp wit snags you like a barbed wire. Larger than life with her dark eyes ablaze. A place in her heart for the lost, lonely strays. So pour me a gold margarita, and I'll play you an old Springsteen song. The summer night couldn't be sweeter. Stay with me here till the dawn. For all things must end, there's no one to blame. Broken hearts mend, though they're never the same. And who's gonna sing Rosalita when you're gone? Laura is leaving beneath my boots turn to sand. All that we promised, all that we planned slips away. So pour me a gold margarita, and I'll play you an old Springsteen song. The summer night couldn't be sweeter. Stay with me here till the dawn. For all things must end, there's no one to blame. Broken hearts mend, though they're never the same. And who's gonna sing Rosalita? Who's gonna sing Rosalita? Who's gonna sing Rosalita when you're gone? Who's gonna sing Rosalita when you're gone?
Nicely done. Nicely done. Nicely done.
Wait a minute.
Thank you, Mo.
Didn't you just say you didn't write any sorrowful, heartfelt songs? I just remember you saying that.
Well, it takes emotional situations to do that.
Exactly.
I guess, yeah. So,
that's an extremely heartfelt song. It touches on a whole lot of
Thank
things.
you.
And you captured that moment, and you captured your friend. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Very good.
Thank you,
Very
Jason.
good. Everything he just said, for sure. Step out for a moment. I just want to talk about, just so you guys know, I've been getting a lot of emails. The AMA Awards nominations closed on April 1st, and I've been getting a lot of emails from a lot of people saying, think about us when you vote and that sort of thing. So I'll send you guys some stuff to listen to that people are sending me, and
That'd be
and
awesome.
you guys can give it a listen to see who's coming up on the thing. By the way, we had another tornado watch here last night.
Oh, no.
Fortunately, it went north of us, so it wasn't too bad. But East Nashville's still in, pretty bad shape. They're still cleaning up over there and trying to reconstruct things. But we have our little room set up under the stairs now. So Jones put a lot of stuff under there in case we need to go under the stairs at a
Harry
a
Potter.
moment's notice.
People under the stairs.
Yeah, that's us now. So it's a little weird. Jason, what have you been up to? You're at home from work, working from home.
Yeah.
You sent me the thing the other day. You were on conference calls all day.
Yeah. Yesterday I went from 8:30 in the morning till about 3:00 in the afternoon, back to back meetings, and in the state of Pennsylvania, the schools have closed, and now the governor's asked for them to be closed for the remainder of the year. So, and on top of dealing with a regular job, now we're dealing with full-time education of our kids. We get a lesson plan. They have Zoom conferences. My daughter was just here. She was talking about the fact that this is kind of like a live Zoom concert. So she's enjoying it as well. But it's a lot of work. We're trying to keep our jobs going. We're trying to keep our lives going, and we're trying to keep our children educated. So, hats off to the teachers who are still pushing through, and the lesson plans that are happening. And there's a lot going on, even though it seems like everything is shut down. Our lives have changed a whole lot in a very brief amount of time.
True. Rose, your daughter's home from college right now, right? She's hanging out with you again? Yeah?
Yes, she's a sophomore at Penn State, and she's home here. And I work from home as well. So, and I'm finding out it is a smaller house than we originally thought. But I feel for her, because this was, springtime in Pennsylvania up at Penn State's an awesome, usually an awesome time. Lots of outdoor concerts and events. So she's doing the Zooming from home in the class, and I mean, it's nice to have her here. That's a blessing. but the sorry for the reason. And
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Yep. Well, our kids are out in Portland. They keep telling us to not go anywhere, so we're trying to abide by their rules right now.
Stay home, Boomer.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what we get in some form every day. So we've had some stuff delivered. Occasionally I have to go get groceries, but other than that, we're hanging. I already worked from home for the most part, so it's not much of a change for me, except that I think Joan and I have eaten more meals together in the last few weeks than we've probably eaten together in 32 years. So
Yeah.
it's definitely interesting, and talking a lot more. All right, let's get to another song, Rose. I
Sure.
think you've got a ballad here, right? Coming up.
Yeah, it's called a
am I
ballad.
right? Okay.
It's a ballad because it's about a person, right? Now, this is a song. I came across an article about the first woman who was executed by the state of Pennsylvania. And I read dark things. And it was really a fascinating story. And she and her lover went on a robbery spree. And this was, a big deal. It was big in the news. I went back and dug through all the old news articles about the only issue for them is that right after they did their big thing, then Bonnie and Clyde did their thing. So it's kind of like quashed. It's like you get a song out there and someone comes out with a slightly better one. So they, but anyway, after reading that and reading through the, essentially what would have been the tabloids at the time, I came up with this song, which I call the Ballad of Iron Irene. She was presented as as this really tough woman who had this spell over men. And so here you go.
Awesome.
Irene married Homer in 1925. Hair of gold, 15 years old, with a wild streak inside. They had a kid, then they called it quits, 'cause Irene gave poor Homer fits. He worked hard to provide, but she was never satisfied. She took their boy and left with no goodbye. Iron Irene, hardest woman that you've ever seen. Iron Irene, cold as a viper and twice as mean. Wheeling, West Virginia, 1929. Irene was waiting tables, waiting on a better life. She met a salesman, his name was Glenn, with a Chevy coupe and a handsome grin. He left 2 kids and a wife, a fine upstanding life, to take Irene and young Donnie for a ride. They drove to Pennsylvania, but work was hard to find, till Irene says to Glenn, "You be my Clyde, I'll be your Bonnie, you be my Clyde." With Pittsburgh pawn shop pistols, they set out on a spree, robbing joints along the road from Ohio to Tennessee. One December morning, it was bright and cold, the lovers were growing mighty bold. They left Donnie in the car, but they pushed her luck too far when they arrived at Butler County grocery store. Iron Irene, hardest woman that you've ever seen. Iron Irene, cold as a viper and twice as mean. Cops set up a roadblock asking drivers for ID. Glenn answered with his pistol and dropped the lawman to his knee. Before his partner could even draw, Glenn shot him twice across the jaw. And as little Donnie watched, his ma let go the shots that killed a man and brought her infamy. Iron Irene, hardest woman that you've ever seen. Iron Irene, cold as a viper and twice as mean. Well, they fled to Arizona, then they shoot out in the hills. Surrounded, they surrendered. It was the end to Irene's thrills. Rockview Penitentiary, 1931. Irene and Glenn would finally pay for the damage that they'd done. And the trigger girl with the golden hair quietly went to the chair for what little Donnie saw, for the death of Corporal Paul. God rest his soul, have mercy on us all. Iron Irene, hardest woman that you've ever seen. Iron Irene, cold as a viper and twice as mean. Iron Irene, hardest woman that you've ever seen. Iron Irene, cold as a viper and twice as mean. Cold as a viper and twice as mean.
All right.
There she goes.
That is a tall tale. No, it's not a tall
Yes.
tale. It's a real tale.
Well, it's true.
Yeah.
Actually,
Right.
you know, the true tale is even more, is just so many twists and turns to it. But then it would have been like a 13-minute song. And there's no folkies that listen to 13-minute songs anymore. So, you know, they actually got her son to tell the cops, like took him aside away from whoever he was staying with, his grandfather, and got him to like tell on his mom. So
Wow.
it was interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
We'll get back to that anyway.
So
So-
they ended up so she ended up in Rockview, and that's
Yes.
is that
And
really
she,
where? Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
And that
wow.
was the first
Okay.
woman to be executed on the electric chair in the state of Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Old
And by the-
Sparky.
Yeah, and by the way, that is just on the other side of the mountain from where I'm at right now.
Right.
That's right.
That's the high what do they call it? High security prison that the
Yes.
that the folks walk away from the work details all the time.
Yeah.
Medium
A little
security.
scary.
Maybe it's medium
Yeah, I think it's.
now.
I think it's medium.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I was a disc jockey at a radio station in town, WGMR, your favorite music station, and
I remember that.
we were a country music station, and the owner hated country, so he didn't let us say we were your favorite country station. So, but it was not uncommon. Well, it's true that because I was a woman, the inmates would send letters in to the station to all the women DJs, basically. Hey, how you doing? Let's be friends. Can you vouch for me? It's like, no. Fake name, don't know you. But yeah, that's my
They've changed.
Rockview story.
Wow.
They don't do that anymore. They just find all the single initial phone numbers that are listed. So if it's just R Ratvasky,
Oh.
they will now look for those, and they go through the phone directory. And
Wow.
It's
Okay.
interesting that he knows that, Mo.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of information being thrown at me right now that I'm going to have to process later, I think. But I've known Jason long enough that it doesn't surprise me, so it'll be okay. And speaking of Jason, I think we're going to have Jason do a song right now. So you can give us a little
Excellent.
lead in and give us some background and swing us something there.
awesome. Well, this is it's a pirate song. It's a good.
Arr.
I spent a lot of time. Before I moved to Pennsylvania, I was in Florida for a long time. I spent about 16 years down there, and so there's a lot of rhythm of the sea that's part of what goes on in my natural being at this point. But this kind of came out of nowhere. It's kind of as as a songwriter, you kind of start somewhere and then it goes somewhere else. And this is kind of one of those songs that kind of that did that to me in a really strange way. And actually, since last week, it's changed a lot when we played it at our other little moment. So this is a song called Okra Coke. It was midnight, by a bonfire on the Carolina coast. Drinking dark rum with my bottle toasting Blackbeard's Coast. Talked and played in Song Quest
on Queen Anne's revenge, and knowing that his treasure was buried somewhere in this sand. Been a long week with a few friends, trying to drink the Jolly Roger dry, and then out late, and the last night, won't be back for quite a while. So somewhere after last call, we stumbled to the point of a teacher's hole. Needed to say farewell to the man of the hour before we started our joyage home. And the water turns to white foam as it crashes to the shore. And a legend was born when the pirate died just off that coast, you know. Some say the spirits roam this stretch when the moon is right. David Jones released a ghost on an Ocracoke blue moon night. From the darkness he appeared, walking along the sand. I shot out, he said howdy, raised a bottle in my right hand. I said I thank you kindly, don't mind if I oblige. You can't find a cure to what ails you on the other side. He said his name was Eddie, he could teach us many tales, how his eyes lit up when he talked about the plunder. He stayed for quite a while, drained my bottle, then he sighed. I better move on before the sun starts rising. And then water turns to white foam as it crashes to the shore. And a legend was born when the pirate died just off this coast, you know. Some say his spirit roams this stretch when the moon is right. But David Jones released a ghost on an Ocracoke blue moon night. It was water turns to white foam as it crashes to the shore. And a legend was born when the pirate died just off this beach, you know. Some say his spirit roams this stretch when the mood is right. But David Jones released a ghost on an Ocracoke blue moon night. It was midnight by a bonfire on the Carolina coast, drinking dark rum from a bottle and toasting Blackbeard's gold.
Nice.
All right. So tell me,
Nice, Jason.
did you ever go out and dig for that?
Well, you know, of all the beaches I've been on, I've never been to the North Carolina coast. So
Oh, well, there
Really?
you go.
really,
All right. So that was not a true story.
it might be to somebody, but it wasn't my story.
Okay. All right. So that, so that,
Like I said, it's one of those things that, you know, as the process happened, it became a story and it became a night. It became a group of friends doing something, and something mysterious happened in it. It's not.
I've been there plenty of
Reality
times where you
was-
start a song
Yeah.
like that and it just takes a left turn and you know, you don't know where it's going to go after that. I don't know when writers write, if they write books and things, if they actually do the outline ahead of time and they know where it's going to go, or if they let it take the turns that it takes. I mean, I don't know. I think everybody's process is probably different, but what, you know, so would you,
Yeah.
well, how'd you feel about that, Rose? You think he's longing for the pirate life?
I think it was spooky. It was a spooky
Spooky.
song.
Spooky.
I liked it.
All right,
Thank you.
good.
Thank you.
All right. So what I have up next for you, Rose, is a song called "Old Lady's Lullaby."
Okay, again.
Is that right?
That's right about what you know. First, I got to take a quick sip of my Pabst Blue Ribbon hard
There you go.
coffee. Available
great.
now in 3 states.
That's a dangerous can of brew. It tastes
That's
like
right.
chocolate milk.
That's right.
I think
Coffee
it's
break.
dangerous.
It's kind of like a frappuccino
Is it?
with a lovely kick.
All right.
So, yeah, this is the title is correct. It's an old lady's lullaby. again, I'm writing from experience here. It just kind of came about with some bitching, oops, some complaining back and forth.
It's like
between
cable;
some-
it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
On a text kind of thing, complain about this and that, and so kind of put it together to a little tune. So I've never actually played this without an audience, so this will be interesting. I didn't actually write most of the music. Some guy named Brahms. It's
Well,
okay.
should we leave our mics on so we can feedback for
You
you?
can laugh. No.
Okay.
All right, let's do it in the right key. Old ladies laugh, and old ladies cry, and old ladies sing a sad lullaby. Laugh and pee, when did this happen to me? When will it end? Time for depends. Old ladies laugh and pee. Walk and fart. Oh my God, when did this start? Though I'm still young at heart. Old ladies walk and fart. Old ladies laugh, and old ladies cry, and old ladies sing a sad lullaby. Sag and droop and sag. Now gravity's a real drag. Boobs and caboose have gotten loose. Old ladies sag and droop. Nip and tuck. A shot of Botox for good luck. A lipo suck. Wait, did I do too much? Old ladies nip and tuck. 'Cause old ladies laugh, and old ladies cry, and old ladies sing a sad lullaby. Dream and snore. We used to party till past 4. Now it's wine, CPAP at 9. Old ladies sleep just fine, but not really. Wake and sweat. Now this is the worst yet. Sheets are soaked, hair all wet. Old ladies wake and sweat. Old ladies laugh, and old ladies cry, and old ladies sing a sad lullaby. Lullaby and good night. Hold your grandbaby so tight. Life's reward, you did all right. This old lady bids good night. 'Cause time marches on. It's easy to trace all the years and the tears in the lines on my face. Time marches on, turns mountains to sand. So love while you're here, and please wash your hands. Old ladies laugh, and old ladies cry, and old ladies sing a sad lullaby.
So, Jason and I don't have a lot of perspective on that. Although my wife is over in the corner right now trying not to laugh on the mic. So I'm
Don't pee,
assuming
Joan.
so that's definitely I won't say that all those things haven't happened to me, but a lot of them haven't. So I'm going to take a moment here to make a pitch. Obviously, our format here is that we're trying to get singer-songwriters to come on with us, talk about their songs, play their songs, have a little fun, do a little chit-chat, drink a little beer, in front of the camera if you want, whatever, or your favorite beverage. As my friend, Canadian friend Craig says, have a pop. Any of those things. But if you look at the crawl going across the bottom of your screen, you will see that we have an email in there called that is weird@treetunes.com. And if you're interested in being on the show with us and you're a singer-songwriter, you can contact us through that email. If you do, make sure you include your phone number, links to your music, and we'll see if we can go take a listen. And if we like what we hear, we'll give you a call and talk about your music and hopefully have you on the show. There's a couple things we have to do ahead of time, so we would give you a schedule. We do some testing before we bring you on here, so we make sure everything's working correctly and that sort of thing. But we get in touch with you and give you a schedule for that. You will also notice that we are our slate at the beginning and end of the show. There's a spot for a sponsor. If you're interested in sponsoring us to help us pay for some of the upkeep on the program, you can contact us at the same email, and we'll be happy to talk to you about that. It's really not that expensive, so we can put some stuff.
Really, for Pabst. For Pabst.
Pabst got a free one tonight, and so did Blue Stripe.
Yeah, evening
exactly.
coffee break. Thursday coffee
there you
break.
go. So, all right. So moving on here, let's. The next song actually is one that we actually recorded with the band a little bit, and people can actually listen to a version of this on YouTube if they want. Jimmy Newby is on the drums in this song on the YouTube version. So if you want to go hear Jimmy on the drums, there he is. And it's a really good song. But this is, to me, when I first heard you play this song, this is like classic stuff.
Yeah.
And it just knocked me out, and that's why I was so excited when we did a little recording of it. So I'm really happy. But tell us where it comes from.
Something just hit. It was one of those sort of alliterations hit me. Originally, it was entitled "Truck Stops." No, it was entitled "Bus Stops and Bars." No, it is. The name of the song is "Truck Stops and Bar Stools."
Right.
It started with an alliteration of bus stops and bar stools, because back when I was playing back in State College long ago, 30 years ago, I didn't have a car. My bike got stolen, so I was when I was playing, it was probably more, I had to go anywhere I needed a bus. But I didn't, it was sort of like, well, that's not that country. So, and I don't take buses anymore. So I went with, as it developed over time, I gave up the alliteration and went with truck stops and bar stools. So it was just one of those, the first line came to me when I was riding with my husband in the car, and the rest just kind of one line at a time. Again, just what it's like to sing in a freaking bar. So, no, I love the bars. I love bars, as you can tell. And I love classic country too, because that's kind of, I got started into country back when the new traditionals came on, and so I love steel guitar and all that kind of stuff. So let's see if I can get this to start. Truck stops and bar stools, that's where I spend my time. One, it helps with leaving. One helps me leave it all behind. Since you've left, it's hard to take one day at a time. And truck stops and bar stools just leave me with you on my mind. Another day, another time, loaded in. Check the sound and have a drink. Wait for the show to begin. You used to call every night, wish me luck, I'd say leave on the line. But now you're gone, no reason to go home again. Truck stops and bar stools, it's where I spend my time. One, it helps with leaving. One helps me leave it all behind. Since you've left, it's hard to take, one day at a time. So truck stops and bar stools, just leave me with you on my mind. I play my songs in corner bars, county fairs, Legion halls, and I tell some jokes about this crazy world we live in. I sing about a love that was floating on, a neon buzz till the lights come up, then I'm back on the road again. Truck stops and bar stools, it's where I spend my time. One, it helps with leaving. One helps me leave it all behind. Since you've left, it's hard to take, one day at a time. Truck stops and bar stools, just leave me with you on my mind. Exit signs flashing by, food and fuel, 11 miles. What road do I take to bring me back home to you? Truck stops and bar stools, it's where I spend my time. One, it helps with leaving. One helps me leave it all behind. Since you've left, it's hard to take, one day at a time. Truck stops and bar stools, just leave me with you on my mind. Hey, these truck stops and bar stools, just leave me with you on my mind.
Sweet. I love that
Thank
song.
I like it. I like it when I capo it up a little bit more.
I noticed on the first line you were a little deep there, and
Yeah.
well, usually, when we've been playing it, I've been standing next to you to tell you what key I thought it was in. Anyway,
That's right. That's right. I'm too lazy to write down my keys, so I asked Mo, what key is it? So,
and the only reason I
it's
know
all
is
to
because
me.
I just pulled up on the
Yeah.
iPad, or else I put my fingers on the guitar and I go, well, I think it's around here, so it must be in this key. I don't know. So tell me, how is Rob's margarita machine going?
Oh my gosh. He has got a new, completely different version. You've seen the one on the stool, so it's freestanding.
Oh yeah.
So he just keeps working and working, and they are available for sale. But because we have so many in the garage now. My husband.
And by the way, they're worth it. Maybe we could get Rob's Margarita Machines to be our sponsor.
I think you should tell us a little bit. I think you should tell us a little bit about how it works.
I don't know. It was like 10 years or so ago. My husband went to Mexico to go fish for bass, even though we live half a mile from a great bass river. And while there, he got hooked on margaritas. And he came home and said, I've got to make them. And he started mixing them up. And he was never happy with how the blender grinded ice, because he blew through 3 of our blenders and 1 of our food processors. So being the redneck engineer that he is, he got a, what do you call that? The
Garbage
in the
disposal.
sink. The
Garbage
garbage
disposal.
disposal. And that's where it began. So that became the machine, and he came up with all different ways of putting stuff through this garbage disposal and getting bigger garbage disposals, and now we always have we have two chest freezers in the garage. One of them's for food and one of them's for margaritas. So
They are
he's been
delicious, though.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the grinding is perfect, and he's branching out now with a bourbon slushy. And we tried a hurricane. I'm not a hurricane fan, but yeah. So I can't wait till when we can be social again and bring out.
I know. I mean, I miss I miss having you guys over to the house up there, and he would always bring a couple of coolers of those, and we'd be ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
right.
then,
And
of course,
it's a sneaky drink too. You sit there in your little lounge chair and you're talking and everything, and suddenly
You're slurring.
you can't feel your face. You can't stand up. It's just
They are awesome.
it's a good thing.
That's good. All right, I think I'm going to take a turn.
There you go.
Cool.
This is a song I wrote a little while back. We'll see if I can actually get the finger picking down. But I was fortunate enough to have a major label publisher allow me to send some songs in at one point. I mean, I pitch all the time, but the majors, it's hard to get into the publishers. But he said, send me 4 songs and I'll listen to them. He shall remain nameless, but he was a nice guy. And he sent me back an email that said, wow, these songs are really well written, but I don't think I'll be able to get anybody in town to record them because, and he said, I hate to say this, but they're just too country for Nashville. And he's right. Sadly, he's right. But so I ended up writing this song about it. It's called The Best Songs. I could write a song like the one that you just heard, and I heart place it across the nation. I could write a song like the last number 1. The highway put it in heavy rotation. The record man said, boy, you're just too country for this town. Songs are great, but no one will lay them down. And the best songs always fall out of the air. Like a seed they try to find a place to root. And in a moment so sublime, they'll catch you unaware. The best songs always sing the truth. Yeah, the best songs always sing the truth. They say, write what you know. And that's what I've always believed. So when I write, I dig down deep inside, and I wear my songs out on my sleeve. The truth can cause some pain, but you sing it just the same. 'Cause Hayes says that's what songs are for. And the best songs always fall out of the air. Like a seed they try to find a place to root. And in a moment so sublime, they'll catch you unaware. The best songs always sing the truth. Yeah, the best songs always sing the truth. Love and truth and beauty are the songwriter's duty. You don't write the song, it chooses you. best songs always fall out of the air. Like a seed they try to find a place to root. And in a moment so sublime, they'll catch you unaware. The best songs always sing the truth. The best songs always sing the truth. The best songs always sing the truth.
Nice.
Oh, nice, Mo.
Nice song, Mo.
Sorry I left you guys hanging there through the whole thing.
No,
Not a
no,
problem.
that's
Next week I'm
and I
recruiting my wife to be the producer, so it'll all we'll have to worry about is the music.
Well, I've got my artificial Mo here that I use to just make sure I have a place to stare if you leave me hanging out here. I know what that is. So
Show everybody what you're using for my head.
this is Mo in my house.
So don't mess with me.
Yeah, right. He is a model warrior.
Exactly. All right.
now.
So
Now, Mo, I
the
like
next-
that you did. I'm going to be the
Go ahead.
interviewer now. 'Cause
Okay.
You talk about that was the songs falling out of the air, which is beautiful, and songs. You do sing with your heart on the sleeve,
Yeah.
and because when I'm not saying I don't ever do it, and I know I do it when I start to my face turns. I feel the heat in my face when I'm singing because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm completely naked up here now. Don't look, and but you have a much better grip on that, I think.
Well, it's hard, I mean, we'll go and we'll go to a songwriter night somewhere, and I can tell who the people are that haven't actually, they've been mostly playing these songs for friends and family, or or alone in your bedroom or in your basement, and it's their first time, and they suddenly you can see the realization coming across. Whoops, we lost Rose there. She kind of cut out. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah,
Hopefully she'll come back because she's got another song to do.
Uh-oh.
Will you text her, Joan, and tell her to sign back in? But my point is that often the people are there, and that you can tell this is kind of the first time they've ever told their story in front of these people that they don't know. And it's hard. It's very hard. People don't realize how hard it is until you actually have to do it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a different thing. I know Rose is going to come back. We're trying to get her to sign back in here. I'm not sure what happened there.
Well, there's kind of some thumping before that happened. I don't know where that was coming from.
Yeah, well, we'll see if we can get her back in here. The song she's about to do, I can tell you a little bit about it. Is hopefully she signs back in to
Yeah.
do it if I tell
Otherwise,
you all about it. But
this is a week-long.
yeah, we'll have to
Cliffhanger.
invite her. Well, we can invite her back next week for a cameo, right? We could do that.
Exactly.
So Rose played in a band called the First Family in State College for a while. It's an old band. Jennifer Hesketh, Steve McQuay, although most people probably know her as Jennifer Dixon, now that I think about that. Connie Gensmore, Fred DiMuccio, and a bunch of people went through this band. It was a house band, and it was, probably 40 years there. Is she coming back? Okay. Probably 40 years there, or maybe 50 in the bar. And a lot of people went through the band. I was fortunate to play in the band for 6 or 7 years. I think I don't even remember how long. But it's kind of a sing-along band. It is a banjos, guitars, bass. But it was founded a long time ago, but the man who kept it going was the owner of the bar, the First. And here comes Rose. I see her coming back now. So I'll let her
Great.
pick this tale up, though, because I think it's probably better for her to tell the story. I sort of told everybody, Rose, can you hear me?
I can hear you now, guys.
Oh, I don't have any audio on.
There
Okay.
you go.
All right. We got you.
Okay.
So I told everybody about a little bit about the First Family and that you had played in the First Family a long time ago.
Yes.
I think there's a little buzz coming through. You might want to check your connection on your mic.
Probably the
and
power.
then-
My phone died.
Oh, okay. There we go. And so I told them a little bit about the bar and the band,
Okay.
and it was there for a long time, 40, 50 years, and all the people that went through it. But why don't you talk about Ernie and sort of your experience with the band there?
Sure.
And
sure.
where I'm assuming this is where this song comes from, but your last
Yes.
song here.
Yeah, I wrote this song on the passing of Ernie Oberman, who was the owner of the bar and had joined the band. The band, I don't know what you told people, but it was started by Terry Countermine in the late 60s. It was kind of a jug band sing-along thing. And Ernie started just kind of in the background. And eventually he moved to the front and became the band leader. And he was just such a charismatic personality. And he loved singing. And his love of music just spread to everyone that was listening to him. Because it was bizarre. When you look back at it now, we're singing these old songs. You know, college kids, drinking, singing, Let Me Call You Sweetheart. It's just not, it was not the same as REM. So, which was what I was listening to at the time. So, but it was, it was a great, it taught me a lot about entertaining. It was about the audience, not about me. You, as a writer, you're always into yourself and trying to come out in a way to share your experience and hoping that someone else can see themselves in it. But there's also the entertainment part where people just want to have fun. And there's so much to be said for that because, especially times like now, you think, gosh, wouldn't it be nice just to go out to a bar with friends and put your arms around them and sing a song? And, but we have to do it virtually right now, which is okay. We'll get through it. But Ernie was a great guy. And
Yeah.
he taught me all these songs that we sat down. He gave me a big book and said, okay, we're going to learn these songs in one afternoon. We have 400 songs. I'm like, okay, Ern. And I took them home that weekend to my parents. And I said, Mom, I joined a band. And here's the songbook. And I put it on the table. And my dad and my mom started singing all the songs. And it was kind of funny because my dad used to always make fun of my mom's singing voice. And she's kind of singing along. And he's singing too. And I learned that he actually had two notes, higher and lower. And it's kind of like this, I need to know the melody, not just higher and lower. But, it was a great time. I met great friends. I met my husband. Can't beat that. So, so I wrote this song for Ernie and for the joy of playing in a band with 3 tenor banjos at one time, which, it's not what you usually hear. So, but fortunately, there was beer. So,
yes, there was.
yes, there was quite a bit of beer. So this is called Sing Banjo Man Sing. Well, it's Saturday night in a tavern, in a basement as dark as a cavern. You can come as you are, drink your beer from a jar, meet your old friends or make you some new. If it's early, you might get a table. If it's late, we'll make room at the bar. When the band starts to playing, the crowd gets to swaying. The best seat is right where you are. So sing, banjo man, sing. Play a song on your old silver strings. Raise a glass in the air, wash away all your cares, and together our voices will ring. when we sing with the banjo man sing. Now the songs, they might seem old-fashioned, but we sing 'em out loud with a passion. Though the cowbells offbeat, the washboard sounds sweet on Rocky Top and Old Mountain Dew. Side by side, we'll all raise a ruckus, singing hits from before we were born. Bring a titty-rye with an Irish lullaby and a smile with that old unicorn. So sing, banjo man, sing. Play a song on your old silver strings. Raise a glass in the air, wash away all your cares, and together our voices will ring when we sing with the banjo man sing. Faded pictures on the wall tell the story, in the smile of a man and his glory. I'm sorry, guys. I got a little confused there with the falling of my... I'll start that verse
You
again.
can pick it up there, yeah.
Faded pictures on the wall tell a story, in the smile of a man and his glory. With a beer and a song, we all now belong to a family that forever lives on. So tip your waitress and don't forget the bartenders. Last call by around for the band, and it's a mama, don't allow no, and over the rainbow. One more song till we all meet again. So sing, banjo man, sing. Play a song on your old silver string. Raise a glass in the air, wash away all your cares, and together our voices will ring when we sing with the banjo man sing. When we sing with the banjo man sing. When we sing with the banjo man sing. There you go.
Excellent.
Nice.
I'm gonna tell you a quick story. My story with when I first sat in with the band, I didn't I had never played with them. I had watched them forever, and I had played with Jen and Connie from the Leslie from the band, right?
Oh my gosh,
as another band. And one day they invited me because they needed somebody to fill in, and so they said, "Be at Ernie's house at 7, and we'll run through the songs, and we'll practice, and then you can, come down and play with us, that night." And I said, "Okay, sure, fine." So I went over to Ernie's house, and I walked in, and his dining room table, there was a bottle of wild turkey in the middle of the table with shot glasses all around it. And I walked in with my guitar, and I said, "Oh, this can't be right? I mean, this can't be good." So I sat down, and they passed out the shots, and we did shots, and I started to get my guitar out, and they said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm getting my guitar out." And they said, No, you're playing the banjo tonight." And I said,
Yeah.
"I don't play the banjo." And they said, "Well, you do tonight." And I said, "But," and they said, "It's okay. It's strung like a guitar." And I was
That's
like,
right.
"All right, okay, I'll be fine."
It's not even a real
But-
banjo.
that was my first night ever with the band. That was before I actually joined them. But Jen said, "We need a fill-in," and invited me out. So there I went. But it was quite the experience, and the whole time with the band, as you said, was an amazing experience, and I'm glad that I got to play for a while with Ernie before he retired and moved south. But
Yes.
yeah, it was a great experience. I'm gonna monopolize the mic here for just a second because there've been some chat stuff thrown up here, so I'm supposed to say hi. First of all, our daughter Sarah and Tom are. I don't know if Tom's watching or not, but
Hey,
they're
guys.
out there.
Hey,
But I'm supposed to say hi to Megan, Drea, Owen, and maybe Clay, who are out there somewhere. Megan used to live at our house. She was like our second daughter, third child. She just hung out there all the time. Now they're all scattered to the four winds. And Joe Batista's out there listening. Joe Ba, former head coach of the Penn State Icers and former
right.
AAD at Penn State. So he's out there listening too. Jason, you'll like this. He says, I didn't know you were a Mandalorian. So that's interesting. So there you go. Anything to add, Jason or Rose? I think we're almost at the end here.
I'm good. Thanks for all of you who
it's
decided
been a
to
good
show up. This
time.
has been fun.
I'm
It's
so
been
glad
great
you're
to
doing
see you
this,
guys.
An opportunity
Yeah,
just to sing songs that that are my own.
Well,
And
Rose, we want to thank you
writers
for
like that.
joining us.
Oh,
Yeah, we
yeah.
really want to thank you for
fun.
joining us because your songs are beautiful. You're beautiful. You know we love you. So once again, a shout out to the folks that always hosted us at the brewery, and we hope you're
That's
all
right.
doing
Way to
well
go, Rock.
and taking care of things. Yep. So that's it for tonight. Thanks again, Rose. We'll be back next
sure.
Thursday at 6 Eastern, 5 Central. We love you all. Take care of yourselves. And just remember, as Hunter S. Thompson says, when the going gets weird,
The Weird GoPro.
The weird
all right,
GoPro.
we'll see you all next week.
Have a good one,
Bye-bye.
guys.